Hello, everybody, and welcome to G for G. This is a game that I have not covered for quite a long time here on the channel, but we do have some bad news in the fact that Iron Maiden Legacy of the Beast is sunsetting. You may notice you're not hearing any game sounds or music, and that is because it is legitimate Iron Maiden tracks that play in this game, even if they are only instrumental. And sometimes maybe only about a minute or so on the loop, but it does often get the videos popped. Not copyright strikes, but like advertisement stuff and everything. So we won't be hearing any game music. Yeah, Legacy of the Beast logged in today, and they said they are sunsetting the game. Definitely unfortunate and sad. This game has been around for quite some time. This was one of the games that I definitely felt was a somewhat of a decent replacement for Marvel Avengers Alliance when it went out. I'm going to go ahead and close it down and restart it because I think it mentions more. It has a better bulletin of what is happening here. So when Marvel Avengers Alliance was shutting down back in 2016, there were a couple games that I thought were a relatively good squad-based combat that resembled what you could do in Marvel Avengers Alliance. You had that DC Legends game, which was okay, but it was a DC game, and I'm not super attracted to the DC universe the way that I am with the Marvel one. And DC Legends did shut down, about a year or two ago at this point. And for me, I really, really lost touch with that game when they started raiding. I was in an alliance and I raided for at least maybe half a year or so. And then I was like, this is stupid. Once a month, this raiding is just utter garbage. It takes so much time, Thursday through Sunday. And this is intense amount of time for just a mobile game. So I backed out of the game and I never looked back, and then it died. Looney Tunes World of Mayhem came along later, and that was another game that I would wind up leaving behind because it just got too paywallish. But Legacy of the Beast has been a really, really fun game for a very, very long time. And I don't play it daily, but I generally try to log in daily. And it's been there with me for quite some time. Great Iron Maiden music in the background and everything. But okay, so that's finally available. Yeah, admittedly, I feel the content was very, very slow over the years. I didn't even know Avalon was open, and I need to complete Night City, but they may add characters, they may add eddies over the years, but I feel like in general, the kind of content was a very, very slow drip in this game. However, it's always been, Silent Planet still coming in a few. I mean, it has said that for years now. Just sort of a slow burn game, but in all honesty, a ton of fun. So the way that I felt it was like Marvel Avengers Alliance is that the eddies are sort of like your agent in a uniform, and the only difference being is that when you're changing the quote-unquote uniform, you're changing the abilities for the most part, and then your gear is sort of your like talismans, basically. The other game that I felt was very similar to Marvel Avengers Alliance, and it kind of coincided with Legacy of the Beast for a while, was a Wizard of Oz game that I think no longer connects to its service. Was it Emerald? I forget exactly the name of it, but in 2014, I think I was playing it. Wizard of Oz? No, not Oz Broken Kingdom. Yeah, I think it's finally delisted over here. But Osbroken Kingdom was very similar to that, where your Dorothy character was sort of like the agent, and then you had the Tin Man, Scarecrow, the Lion. There was, and it was your typical color thing of red, blue, and green, which is what you have in Legacy of the Beast, where red is stronger than green, green is stronger than blue, blue is stronger than red. So sort of like a reverse of Blaster over Tactician Bruisers. And then your yellow and your purple, which is Gunner and Assassin, they directly oppose each other. So a purple is strong against the gold, and a gold is strong against the purple. So rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock kind of a deal. You have your talismans that activate passives. So if you see here, increases attack by 15%. Then I have this Lycan passive, reducing damage taken, grant spell vamp. So your talismans are sort of like your gear in this game. And your eddies are like your agents. And this is the first eddy that the game gives you that just calls it Eddie. Samurai, Pharaoh, Viking, Edward the Great, which is one of my favorite eddies, my top blue. Wicker Man, which is kind of a scrubby eddy. I just leveled him to 100 today because of a special dungeon. Soldier, Vampire Hunter, Seventh Son. This is my favorite album of Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Somewhere in Time, the one before it, is also a phenomenal album. The one after this one, Fear of the Dark, is also really good. That was around the time period of super into Maiden. Carriage Rider Eddie, Mummy Eddie, Hallowed Eddie, Mystic, Battlefield Trooper, Benjamin Brieg, Klansman, so sort of a Braveheart one, Long Beach, Wasteland. Now, some of these are kind of repeats, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Scream for Me Eddie, Virtual, Base Eddie, Frozen False Gods, Scrooge, X Factor, Rhythm of the Beast. I don't even remember when I got that one. Navigator, who I've used a little bit, Ed Hunter, Coal Giver, Crusader, and then Run to the Hills Eddie, which is basically the start. Well, actually, no, that's a little bit different. I think it's maybe this one coming up over here with the open mouth. Hellraiser, Tail Gunner, Executioner, Football Eddie for West Ham, Iron Eddie, Speed of Light. This is another terrible Eddie. This is generally not a high-level Eddie from what I know. 2019 tour. This is the same as the basic Eddie, except he gets this one little passive over here, which is different. But for the most part, it's basically the same one. Same thing for IMFC Eddie, but a slightly different passive. Is it the same remove? Yeah, it's a different passive. And then finally, Storm Eddie. And then they have these other characters that I'm not too sure really where they've pulled from, if they're all from songs, but some of them are collaborations. So this is the guy, which is Disturbed's mascot. This is the Clairvoyant, which comes from a song off of Seventh Son. Lady Azov, Raven Witch. I just updated Raven Witch to the First Awakening earlier today. Child of the Damned. This red Child of the Damned little gremlin has been my most powerful toon for a long, long time. This shadow passive murders in this game. The ability to get a kill and keep going every time he gets a kill with his jacked up attack and everything. This is one of my favorite characters in the entire game. If I can bring him somewhere, he's coming with me. He doesn't have an awakening. And never will now. But I love this character to death. Rocket Dog saw me through a lot of the early game. Still a favorite of mine, but has been power crept out. Wicker Man, kind of strong at times. A Lord of Light, Sirius the Cosmic Wolf, Clairvoyant, Desert Marauder, Hierophant. So some of the collab ones are also coming up. I am not sure if Knucklehead is a collab or not. Um, I think he was, but I'm not too sure what it was a collab with. Shadow Sorceress, Snaggletooth, a Krampus, um, Bort, Heart Piercer, Phantasmal Feasters is new, I believe. Warrior Baphomet, Bloodbath Charlotte. That was one. Oh, wow, I got a Charlotte in there. Charlottes were really, really strong a couple years back, if I remember correctly. I don't know which color, but I was seeing a lot of Charlottes, and they were strong. Jesterhead, there's Alice Cooper. I mean, it's just straight up Alice Cooper. Varkalak. This is Pauper Emeritus, Ghost, the band Ghost and everything. That's a collab. Wow, a Trooper bottle? Seriously? Some of these, I don't even know where I got them from. Valkyrie Knight, Not Man, a Deathbat, like a punk Deathbat, John Goblinkin, Lilith. I think it may be Queen Beast, but I think she might be a collab with a female heavy metal singer, if I remember correctly. So the game has done some interesting things over the years, between leading into, Christmas Carol with Scrooge, and like the Ghost of Christmas Past, and see the Ghost of Jacob Marley and everything. Fun game, extremely robust and huge roster. You can do things like PvP, which is Arena and Gauntlet. You can bring your friends with you when you go on missions and everything. You have these dailies called Skull Quests that open up as you progress through the game. See, this one is locked for me because I need to have 371 skulls. I have 371. You need 450. How to get the skulls is to go through the PVE missions like these, and every time you do a mission, you get a skull rating, like a star rating and everything. Now, some of them have conditionals where you have to meet a certain condition in order to get the skulls. It's not. Why is it not telling me? I thought it was supposed to. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, use 5 power abilities, survive with 2 allies. Sometimes, if you've been playing the game for a long, long time, it's hard to get like the use 5 power abilities down because you're killing things so quick. You have to bring like some really, really weak characters with you. But that's how you get the skull ratings. It's basically like the stars for the PvE missions in Marvel Avengers Alliance, the story missions. It is just like that, except, of course, those never had conditionals. And you don't have to do them all in one shot. I mean, when you do a mission, you could do it one time and basically get the win with 75% health and basic abilities all in one shot. And using 9 basic abilities, you could do that too, unless you're so overpowered you're wiping out waves in one shot. It's going to be kind of sad to think that this game is going to be going away, even though it has not had the most amount of content added to it over the years. It kind of stagnates for long periods of time. It is a fun game, and it is easy for me to just pick up and spend a lot of time playing if I wanted to, because there's still so much for me to do in this. When you enter into combat, you can go ahead and bring any of your allies with you. You can either bring a minion, which would be down here on the second row, so I could actually knock out my Raven Witch and bring a friend's Wicker Man, for example. Or you can knock out one of your Eddies and bring a friend's Eddie. I used to have a couple trooper friends here that I would pull just about daily, and then they would pull me. So it was a very scratch your back kind of thing. And the reason why you would want to do that is because of the dailies. So the dailies have been the same for years. Spend the game's energy, level up a character, summon a character, use 3 friends, and power up a talisman. That's been the exact same dailies for half a decade now or so, just years. And you have the Book of Souls, where you can go ahead and summon characters. Now, you can always tell how good your character is going to be based on the reaction of the face over here. See, this is a 3-star minimum, but it could be higher. So that's going to be a 3-star because I didn't get the red lines between the eyes. Oh no, wow. If I had my volume up, I would have been able to hear that I got a better character than I thought. And it actually looks like I earned a brand new Eddie. I don't have this. Oh my god. Did they really give me this amount of Eddies? Oh, because it's the Sunset Soul. Yes, this one is going to give... Oh my god, look at what they're giving you in this. They are letting you totally jack up your roster. 100 skill shards. A whole bunch of Eddies. Ooh, Fear of the Dark Eddie. I've seen this one around a lot over the years, and I don't have him. Soldier, yes. Storm, yes. My god, this is huge. I'm so glad I clicked on this for the video and not somewhere else where I wasn't recording. Wow. But that means I definitely have a lot of duplicate Eddies to do. So when you start getting duplicates, especially if they're downgrades, like you have somebody on a 5-star, but you get them as a 2-star, you can shred them or basically sacrifice them. So Battlefield Trooper Eddie, classic Eddie there. Oh god, I have to shred people in order to get some of them out. Okay, oh, give me the detail. I wish I could get the details on him. Yeah, okay, so that is the standard Pharaoh Eddie, so he is a duplicate. That Eddie, I believe, is a duplicate too. It'd be nice if it would actually let me click on them and get details. So that I don't shred the wrong one. But okay, so go to sacrifice. And wow, I got all those bottles too. Well, they're 2 stars or 1 star, so they're going to get shredded. I'll even shred that one because that's a 3-star. Can I shred them from the overflow, though? That's something I really need to do because I don't want to shred the existing ones of my duplicates because they're powered up and everything. They're not at the basic. Okay, good. All right, so one of these got to go. The thumbnails are clearer here, so I think it'll be much, much easier to find the duplicates and everything. Okay, so that's a level 1. There we go. There's another level 1. I guess that one green Eddie that's over there is not somebody that I have. I thought he looked very, very familiar. Who is this guy? Peace of Mind Eddie. Yeah, I've seen him. Oh, there we go. There's another one to sacrifice. This is probably the biggest sacrifice I've ever done in my entire life. I've never done one this big. Still have a lot that I need to knock down. And the good thing is you don't just have to sacrifice your characters when you... wow, that is a huge sacrifice. I've never seen it give me 2 sets of rewards like that. If you go to your team and you go all the way to the end, and it's only on this screen, not any of the other screens like that sacrifice screen, you can't do it there. But if you go all the way to the end, you can hit the plus, and you could spend either the premium currency, which is diamonds, or the regular game currency, which is gold. spend about 1 million and you can expand your roster. And there you go. I've had to do that many times over the years. And the same thing is true of relics, or excuse me, your talismans. Your talisman inventory can get full too, and then you need to go ahead and start selling talismans and everything like that. So, wow, that is a huge soul that I just cashed in over there. That was that was a lot of fun. I don't know if my talisman industry is jacked up right now or not. You have relics, which sort of are global stats. And there is one thing that I'm not too sure where it goes into effect. I had these under Trooper. I bought a banner kind of a thing earlier. And yeah, I did buy one of these things, but I don't exactly know what they do. I don't know if you equip them or I don't know where these things come into play. It's very different from a character. Like, that's a character. I don't know what this portrait-y banner painting kind of thing exactly does. If you happen to know, please let me know in the comments, because I have one of them. I legitimately just don't know what to do with him. But yeah, it looks like you're going to be at that stage of the game where it's shutting down and they just throw a lot of resources at you and everything. These packs are super, super cheap. I mean, $4.75 for these, and not have it be straight money like the $10, $15, $20 that they charge sometimes. Yeah, but it's going to be sad to see this game go. I never did get into a clan or try to create one. For the most part, I never felt like I was really missing out. And about 25 out of 47 troopers. I haven't really looked at adding some for a while. You can see a lot of basic eddies are there. This guy's got a little bit of a different eddy. I'll send Ghost Soldier a request. And actually, we got a different character over here. So yeah, it's sad. I'm going to be sad to see this game go. When DC Legends died, I was happy. I was like, yeah, you deserve to go. If Looney Tunes World of Mayhem is dead or does die, that's another one that I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm glad to see you go. But Iron Maiden Legacy, the Beast, is one that's it's going to suck. Hopefully in this sunset period before it gets completely shut down, I get to spend more time with it, see if I can progress in some of these missions and everything. I do have time to play this at least a little bit, especially on mobile. It's easy to do a game off to the side while playing a primary PC game and everything. But yeah, I think I'll try to push what I can do in this game before it dies and experience some of what's been going on with this game that I've missed over time, like Underworld. Well, Underworld I have completed on normal, yeah. Night City on normal, and maybe getting into Isle of Avalon, which is usually like the King Arthur Island. Be interesting to see what's there. And gotta do that for the daily. Icy Summit is one of the events that you can do right now, and it looks like it rewards you with a pretty good soul over there. And something else at... Okay, there we go. So Festive Awakening Shard, Christmas Epic Soul, another Christmas Epic Soul. Oh, God. I can't believe somebody doing one of those dungeons 100 times. That just seems crazy. 8 times using only gunners or only assassins, only... Whew. Again, seems nuts. 50 times only using Christmas characters? Yikes. Lifesteal. Apparently, I did a lot of life stealing when I went through it earlier today. I did the normal one, and then the one level up from that. And yeah, it's actually kind of tough. Some of the characters stay immune for quite a while and have a lot of really good hit point regeneration. So yeah, pour one out for Iron Maiden Legacy of the Beast. Great game. If you're a Maiden fan and you love Maiden's music, you absolutely should try to experience this game before it wraps up. You're going to hear a lot of songs. You're like, oh, I know that. That's definitely Fear of the Dark, or That's Somewhere in Time. Maybe even Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner is in this game somewhere. But just, be careful if you do videos on it or stream, as the background music in the game could cause you a little bit of issues. If you remember that Guardians of the Galaxy game that came out a couple of years ago, that was on consoles and on Steam, the action one and everything, it gave you two soundtracks. One was a soundtrack that was a lot like the movie, and then they gave you sort of a no copyright soundtrack so that you could stream it and do videos on it and not have to pay royalties out the yin yang. So pour one out for Legacy of the Beast. Try and experience it before it wraps up, especially if you're a Maiden fan. I can't recommend the game enough, and I'm sorry I haven't been covering it in a couple of years, but it's up until now was still going strong. Thanks for watching the video, everybody. Have a good one.